and we'd take our fishing poles and would go across the creek, and we would fish for about an hour till we caught some fish, and we'd take time and cook dinner, skin the fish, fry the potatoes, eat the fish, and then drive the cows back home. And I was thinking, what a wonderful memory of that. Yeah. It was
I remember we had, after we bought the Anna place that you guys own now, the cows go all the way from the house, all the way to the Anna house.
Yeah.
And my job was to go get the cows in the evening. And I would walk all the way, you know, from the house, across the hills, back over to the Anna house, and drive those cows back to the house.
Yeah.
And it was a good mile and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
One direction, yeah. And it's been probably 3 or 4 years ago now. It was after I'd had the leukemia. And then I was in the process of dealing with that, I guess. And I was over there, and I wanted to see, can I walk?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Good
Did
for
you do it?
I did. I didn't stop.
Oh my goodness,
I
Dad.
didn't walk fast.
That's
But
amazing.
I walked
Another case of Harrell
all the way
stubbornness.
across, back up the valley where the old walnut tree was.
Yeah.
And,
That's the same route I had to do
I wanted
every
to see if I could
afternoon.
do it and not stop. I didn't want, I used to could run it, but I did not walk it. I remember stopping. I got home and just sitting down and prayed.
Oh, that's
Aw.
beautiful.
I don't think I could do it today.
Yeah, I told Tony today, we walked up on the mountain, and we got back in time and went to church, and then we were coming back down to the house, down the road. And I said, you know, we're not gonna have time this trip, but we really need to go all the way over the hill, down to the creek and back up. Do that same walk we did every afternoon.
Remember walking up sideways
Mm-hmm.
on the cow paths?
I know. Yeah. Do you
Well,
guys
a
remember
lot of memories there.
Yeah, do you remember the grapevine swing?
Oh yeah, the one you went into the briar patch
Yes. If you're
Facing the old house down there.
if you're
Yeah.
facing the milk house, and we would walk up on the ridge behind it,
Uh-huh.
and there was a grapevine swing there.
Yeah, I remember it.
And you guys were much bigger than I was, and Mama would always tell us, go out and play and don't come back till lunchtime. Or if it was after lunch, go out and play. If we didn't have chores, go out and play and don't come back till dinner. So anyway, we got up there and we were playing, and I wanted to swing so badly. Talked you guys into it. I don't remember who put me up there, but I still remember holding on to that so hard, and somebody pulled me way back, and here it went. Right over those briars, and I went, and you guys couldn't get me out. The briars were so thick, and I was sitting there crying, and you had to go get Mama to
Come get you out.
Mama and Daddy had to come cut the briars and pull me out.
I bet you had briars all day, you did.
Oh my God, I don't remember that part. I just still remember.
I remember
the thrill of
you
being
and Larry
on there, and
with
then pulling me back.
pokeberries all over you, playing cowboys and Indians on Jack and Jim.
Well, I was in the milk house a couple days ago. Well, I guess right before we left. We were trying to get things cleaned up down there and so forth, just kind of looking around. And I looked at the old cross-cut saw that's still hanging down there. And I thought about Larry, and there was a tree down up there on top of the hill. And Dad sent Larry and I up to cut that tree with a crosscut. This is before we had chainsaws. And Larry really wasn't big enough to pull a crosscut.
I was telling him that story yesterday, the day before.
Basically, I would pull it.
And go into
Then
the
I'd
side.
push. Help Larry.
I'd try to pull it back, and all I could do to get that saw to move back. And it's a big old oak tree.
It was a big tree.
That took forever to cut through that thing. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this saw through here.
Well, I was thinking about that story, and I was looking at that old crosscut saw the other day. I thought, well, you know, Larry and I pulled that, but Larry, you probably weren't over 8 or 9 years old.
8 or 9, I've got Troy's age.
Yeah. And I was probably, 14, 15, something. I was big enough I could pull it.
So you could do it.
And,
Yeah.
and Larry,
It was cold that day.
yeah.
snow on the ground, and
Do you remember?
We got it cut.
they did get it cut.
Do you remember the year that it snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed?
Oh, all the way
It
up
snowed,
to,
yes. Well, you also, right before that big snowstorm came, the December, before that, I think that snowstorm came in like March or April or something. But Mom and Daddy always sent us out to cut the Christmas tree.
uh-huh.
And we couldn't agree on the Christmas tree, you
Right.
remember that? And they sent us out 2 or 3 days in a row, and it was Christmas Eve, and we still didn't have the Christmas tree. And I remember at lunchtime, we came in and we were so cold going out, it was on Christmas Eve, and we were eating soup, I still remember that soup. And I remember Daddy coming in from whatever he was doing, he said, well, I don't see a tree. And we looked at each other, well, they wouldn't get the one on it, and they wouldn't do what I did, they wanted to, like this, and he looked at us and he said, that's it. I don't remember what he told us to do, but we were all in trouble, we had to do something, and he went out and got a tree and brought it back, it was the ugliest looking tree you'd ever seen. And he told us,
On purpose, probably.
probably.
It's no
He told
Jack
us-
Pine, what it was.
It was an old pine, and
Old
one
Jack Pine.
whole side was like a bear had rubbed it.
It wasn't a white pine, it was an old Jack Pine.
But he brought it in, and he didn't dare us to say anything.
Anything.
So we decided that was the most beautiful tree we had ever seen. We decorated it, we were okay.
Remember hiding behind the couch,
I do.
so
Larry and I fell
tired
asleep
and
over the
sick, we were
couch.
so excited for Christmas, for Santa to come, but we always fell asleep.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Talking about the grapevine that you swung on and fell in the briar patch.
Yeah.
I don't know, if it was before that time or after that
It
time.
was after that time,
I had one
One
down on
from
the
the old
far
Grace
end
house.
in front of the old Mill Harrell house there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was big, big one. I swung on that thing all the summer. Some springtime, I wanted to go back up, I was back up there for some reason, I said, I'm gonna try that swing out again. So I went up there and found it, I backed up as far as I could go, went out, everything went out in a big arc, and it just kept on going. Thing turned loose, cause it'd been dead all winter. I came halfway down that hill.
Yeah,
I
it was
hit the
steep.
ground and went into a big briar patch there, that's the only thing that kept me from getting killed.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that.
I was by myself,
Oh, my goodness.
I don't remember you being hurt, coming in hurt though.
you know, I didn't get